Coffee.
You are a sad, strange little man, and you have my pity. Farewell.
Coffee time.
Yeah.
Coffee time.
In the city, it's coffee time. It's I'm gonna do a live remote one morning from Hotspot Coffee. What do you think, Randy? We should go down there.
Let's see it happen.
Yeah.
Hotspot Coffee. Yeah.
I sent you the pictures.
Is that where the ladies walk around without any tops on?
They have tops on.
Oh, okay.
They're just in lingerie. They're open to me doing it. They're like, yeah.
Yeah, but can we broadcast it on YouTube?
We have a really small suburb of Flint up here to the north called Clio. They had a guy open a topless coffee house there.
Oh, I had a dude actually try to open up a topless car wash about a block away from me. The nonsense.
Yeah. Well, this was a small town. They actually bought him out in order for him to go away.
Right, yeah.
It's a quick way to make 20 grand.
Yeah. But in the end, actually, for us, what happened was that people just wanted their cars washed.
Yeah.
It's like they just, the girls just kind of got in the way. Because here's like, everyone just wants to just wash my car and go. I gotta go.
Critical Blast says Hot Springs, Arkansas has topless barbershops. Yeah.
There have been a few of those around.
There's a barbershop across. They used to be called Playboys. Across from my house, and it's all female barbers, and they all, short mini skirts, heels, that type of thing. And they're the closest barbershop to me now. And I walked in there, and I'm like, can you guys cut my hair? And the girl's like, sure. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, hey,
what do you know? You're actually good at this.
Yeah. But I asked my wife, I'm like, hey, I got to go over to the barbershop. Is that cool? She's like, yeah. So she comes with me. I'm like, are you coming in? No. She sits in the car, and I can feel her eyes looking through the window because they had a big picture window, staring at me like, while this woman in the tightest pair of yoga pants ever is cutting my hair. It's the most uncomfortable haircut I've ever had in life, ever.
Marv wants us to know, hello everyone. I'm grilling sardines and pork. Yummy, yummy. Have a great day, my friends. I'll watch for a while and go crazy on the beer.
Such a Portuguese meal.
And then on the eating after. See you later. Pork. Bye, diet. Yep.
Pork.
Yeah. See,
Critical Blast wants to know, where is this coffee place?
Hot spots all over Michigan.
Is this coffee place where the cream dispensers are organic?
Oh.
Hey, everybody, we're TVMA, DLSV. Hot Springs, Arkansas.
You have to walk in with no shirt on. That's how it works.
Oh man, we had I've been in there.
Hey, look, if it's like, look, nobody's saying that we're not doing a pantless show. So we're talking about topless bars and we're doing a pantless show. Nobody knows.
Yeah, you guys don't know how.
Imagine the outcry if you were only allowed to walk into a coffee shop if you had visible pectoral muscles.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing any pants. Film at 11.
I've seen some weird rules at some places. Some clubs. Like I seen one club said no jerseys, no hats, because that's a gang thing, I guess. So no sports jerseys, no baseball caps, no white T-shirts, no necklaces.
No white T-shirt.
Yeah,
it's again. No. What's funny? Well, when we first went to Las Vegas, we needed to get. We were going horseback riding in the desert, and it was recommended that we get bandanas. I swear to God, in all of Las Vegas, we could not find one goddamn bandana anywhere. And I'm like going, what is the deal with bandanas? Only later did I realize that it was a gang thing. That nobody carried. Like the only bandanas we could find were some kids bandanas with Looney Tunes on it and whatnot. We ended up getting those anyway, but because we needed them. But but it's like nobody sold bandanas because it was considered a gang thing.
Yeah, and I remember trying to get into this club. We were in Chicago. It was Comic-Con, and buddy was like, "Let's get some beers. Let's go out." And we went out. And they were still filming the Dark. There's a Dark Knight there, and so they had all the stuff up from like some of the stuff was still there, like the Gotham City Bank sign was still there. We're walking around.
Oh, that's fun.
And it was a really weird thing that we couldn't hardly get in. No Timberlands, no gym shoes. Which no Timberlands, like no Timbos. No
well,
Timbs?
you see, and that's the thing too. So instead of actually doing something real about gang violence, they decide they're going to ban everything they're associating with gang violence.
That'll work.
Yeah, it's like, no, it's perfect, right? It's like, oh, you want to stop violence? Let's ban bandanas. Like here, there was an incident years ago, where a drug dealer shot a kid for using one of those the water guns on him. So it's like he splashed him with a water gun, so the drug dealer shot the kid. So of course, in New York's infinite wisdom, they decided to ban water guns.
Jesus.
Yeah. I guess get into whoa, yeah.
Good Lord.
Anita says, y'all know I'm about that gang life of my bandanas. I have 100+ affiliations. Yeah. Nita, I keep trying to convince Nita to get the superhero ones. I'm going to send her some. I got to get her address. I'm just going to send her some bandanas, superhero ones. That way people
can represent properly.
Yeah, I'm going to send her a Hydra one, though. That'll get her in trouble. Hydra.
Trico wants to know if grilling sardines and pork is an innuendo.
No, it's an actual meal. Yes, no, I can attest to that.
No, but grilling your pork in a sardine is.
Yeah. Trico also says as long as they don't ban loafers and sweatpants, I'm in.
Yeah. What they should have just said is no blacks. That would have been.
Well, that would have been the easiest.
Sugar.
Hey, sugar.
Sugar's here.
Or in my family, it's I've got sugar. What? You guys don't ever heard that?
What context are you using it in?
Southern people.
There you go.
Instead of saying diabetes.
Daphne's from New York. Sugar means something completely different.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We need to clarify here now.
Southern, a lot of people in my family refer to diabetes as sugar. Have sugar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's like,
right.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
I've heard that before. I think that's a Midwest kind of terminology. Yeah.
Everyone I've heard uses is from the South, but I just always thought it was weird. Like, you gotta be careful. Carl got that sugar. What? Does he
the beatus.
Yeah.
The beatus.
Should we go live? Should we roll the intro? Get into some topics this morning?
In a minute,
sure.
But before we do that, Charles Santino sent me a note here, or a headline.
Mm-hmm.
Headless body and topless bar.
Oh, that was New York Post. Yeah.
From the New York Post.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the best thing to ever happen to the New York Post is them being allowed to use photoshopped images. Because their covers got all crazy and I guess it's like, as long as it's obvious that it's like a parody, they can go hog wild on it.
Where is it? There it is. Boom.
Yeah.
Headless body and topless bar. All right, I'll run the opening. There we are.
I was thinking about the dress codes. The cons don't require a dress code. All they ask is people to wear deodorant, and yet they just don't.
Well, also, the only other dress code that I've seen at a convention is that no costume is not a costume. I.e., don't come here with your titties out and saying that it's a costume.
They had a dress code at Motor City that one year. They turned away all them painted ladies.
Well, they
right.
were
yeah. No, that's exactly. Yeah.
so when I hear painted ladies, I think about the house in San Francisco.
Mhm.
There's there's some big bitches. They have the hotel that you were saying in Chicago, the DoubleTree across from the Stevenson Center. They have a dress code now because they realized that like they had breakfast, but the cosplayers are dressed up and they go down and have breakfast, which is really cool to be. It's cool to sit. Yeah, it's cool to sit there and have breakfast with Miss Marvel. Until you realize that I know what did it because there was a young lady. She was dressed as old school Miss Marvel.
14-year-olds dressed up in Kill la Kill.
This was a grown woman. She was dressed as Miss Marvel, and she was having breakfast with Power Girl, a Power Girl, not Arizona Power Girl,
not the Power Girl.
Not Kara, because Kara is when I say Power Girl, I don't usually mean Kara, but Miss Marvel stood up, and everyone, if you're eating, maybe turn your mic down, but it was she left some residue on the seat.
Oh, that old gag.
Yeah. It was that time. It was that time of the month. Yeah, she was very embarrassed.
What's that got to do with cosplay?
Water guns. It's water guns. It's like, so, instead of just saying that it's like, oh, this woman had an unfortunate moment, like, oh, we're gonna ban cosplayers. Like that was the issue.
She could have had a white trouser suit on. It would have been the same problem.
Well, look, it's like, look, I'm just gonna look, this, all you guys out there, just so you understand, it's like the fastest way for a woman to have her period without her knowing is to wear white.
They'll just turn up, bang.
Yeah, exactly. It just shows up. That's it.
I had told the wife a while ago. I said, "Let me ask you this, honey. Would you, if there was medication where you could just, this is years ago, where you could not have it?"
Yes.
And but accept that there was, you knew that there was going to be one day you had to do one day of just
turn into a werewolf.
Yeah, it being horrible. Would you do it? And she's like, yeah, I take the one day over not have it. But now there is medication. They got medication that now will keep that bad boy at bay.
Well, it's called birth control. What are you talking
about? No, it's something else.
It's nothing.
Just wait. You just wait long enough. Eventually, it'll go away.
There's something else they've got now. Apparently, it's. I was looking at they're going to push it off.
And just also in case anybody needs to know, we are not medical professionals here.
We're not
offering medical
we can
on any level.
We can barely keep our comics on schedule, let alone our biology.
Exactly.
Speak for yourself.
Our comics are on schedule.
I thought we were here to talk about comics.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing.
Welcome to the Sunday Funnies, folks.
Just kidding. If you look at it,
just kidding. Breakfast Buzz.
Russ says it all the time. Bloody comics, get it?
Oh.
Anyway,
shall we move along?
Yes, we should. Yes, we
move
should.
along.
Moving right along. Loose and fancy free.
You can just. I'm sorry. Every time I see that face, I just hear a little squeak in my mind.
Hear it in your head.
I don't.
Right?
You don't hear a roar. You hear a woo.
Yeah,
Abdul.
That reaction.
Abdul Rashid says, "Funny. This is cool. Liking this. How you been, Randy? Great to see this."
Abdul, we need to talk, buddy. I hope you are doing well.
It's what else we got here? Russ is working on pages.
We've been doing this three days a week, almost for the last 2 years, buddy.
And we have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, exactly. We still wander off topic and talk about everything but.
Oh yeah.
Well, if you're varying, that was literal.
To kind of put this back on topic. So I came to this realization last night, and I couldn't believe it myself that it actually finally happened.
Mm-hmm.
Up there with Runner's High, which I still think doesn't exist, but there was a skit that Chris Rock did years ago, where he was talking about working at Red Lobster, and he's saying that no matter what he did working at Red Lobster, like he would just be there scraping shrimps off the plate, scrape, and it's like 5 minutes. It would feel like 3 hours has passed, but it's only been 5 minutes.
You have a loose wire in your microphone.
Oh, do I?
You must have a loose wire in your microphone. So you're cracking a bit.
Oh, okay. Because
she was clear over here.
Yeah.
And
I tested my mic. So then he was talking about how when he moved to doing comedy full time, and and he's just in the zone. He says when you're doing something that you really love, there's not enough hours in the day.
Yeah.
And last night, it's like I came to that realization that that's what's been happening to me these past couple of months. And it's like I'm like working. Even though I'm working, I have such incredible joy at what I'm doing. I'm working on these comics, doing these Kickstarters. As much as I bitch about fulfillment,
and you do bitch.
There's a high. Yeah, I do. I really do. I mean, there is a high that comes from that, and it's like, you know what? This is it. I'm living that Chris Rock skit where it's like, yeah, there is not enough hours in the day. I get mad going to bed, having to go to bed, because it's ruining my vibe.
Going
to sleep ruins my vibe.
Working hard or hardly working, eh, Mark?
Yeah, exactly.
I found myself skipping time a lot.
Yeah.
Especially lately, because I'm wrapped up trying to hit deadlines and
alien abductions.
Set at 1 and suddenly it's 5. You're like, oh, holy crap!
That right there is bait critical bias. I know what you're doing.
Right.
Hey, the film, this company's
that's
now.
Bait.
Yeah. And Daphne, I mentioned that last night too. I said there are people who feel that crowd. Because again, people always want to purity test and want to make sure that you're part of the group. They're shunning people now for using
backer kit and
using fulfillment services, because everyone who's doing a comic should understand what making a Gemini mailer is like. Making a Gemini mailer is like folding it down, going to the post office.
To say that we don't know how to do that, we don't know what that feels like.
Right.
Yeah.
We know what it feels like.
Right.
But because and again, granted, I'll have my taste of it when Lola's fulfilling lore. But I mean, through my web store, I've sent out 14, 15 orders at a time. And that was, but so I got a taste of that.
So JD got a package from you the other day. Is it cheating if you use somebody else's Gemini mailers?
Oh, he was getting that. I knew exactly when I got that in the mail. I said, I know exactly who this is going to.
Yeah.
I told Randy, I said, I'm sending this to JD with the tape still on.
Oh, because he was laughing. JD saw that and he was laughing his ass off when he saw that.
So are you saying that certain people are looking down upon others for using a fulfillment service?
Yes.
It's like people need to be in tribes so badly that they come up with the stupidest shit to separate themselves.
How about you mind your own business and get online?
Yeah, amen.
Yeah. I got no problem with it. I do think that it's an experience fulfilling a campaign, but if you're willing to pay the money to avoid having to do it, and you're doing that from you're paying the money. It's yours. Do it.
Yeah,
exactly. Are these the same people that would suggest you must fail your first campaign?
There you go.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that these are always people who've never run a campaign. But
they're always or they're always people that run crap ones. Sorry.
Yeah.
This
is similar. This was similar to the one of the questions we had yesterday. Well, it was one of the questions.
Not in comics. No one ever looks down.
No. We're perfect little angels here. Yeah. No, like the thing when you were showing us that new crowdfunder platform that was for comics. And there was, I guess it's like there was already people like kind of uptight over the fact that they were trying to be an all-in-one, where it's like they'll also print your comics too. That they'll do everything for you, and people are like, "Oh, that's being lazy." It's like, no, screw you. That's an offer. That's an option, and if you don't mind paying the price for it, then that's what you can use.
People. I mean, like I was talked about by some friends for breaking down and getting having the one tablet, the Surface, Microsoft Surface to draw on, and then buying the Cintiq here. I was, why are you doing that? And I felt kind of bad, like traditional. And then Eric Hodson put it in perspective for me. He says, don't complain. Don't get mad, Varian. They can't afford.
Right, yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's been an outcry. Anytime any new technology comes up, it's always looked at as cheating.
It's gonna ruin. It's gonna, and it's like, okay,
unless it's Adobe, then that's a whole different situation.
Right. Well, but not for nothing though. People bitch about anything that makes it look like it's making stuff easier for you. I mean, I know I've told this story before, but for our new listeners, it's like. I back at conventions, I used to do My Little Pony and Minion portraits. You know, like it was just such a fun little thing to do. You know, like people
My Little Pony.
Yeah, exactly. So I was doing so many of them that what I started doing to save myself time was I would blue line the base figure. Mm-hmm. So, it's like, so I would have like a pile of these sketches with, it's just all blue line. It's just the circles and just the base pose, no other details. And then when someone ordered them, then I would fill it in. Well, I had to hide those sketches. I had to hide those because people who would see them would go, "Oh, you're cheating. You drew that already." Mind you, this is all just circles. It's like there's nothing on the page.
But the key is in that sentence. You're cheating.
Yeah,
you drew that already.
Right.
You,
it's like, so
you
I mean,
drew
it's like,
it.
and I really, it's like just wanted to like turn the paper around. It's like, here, you fill it out then.
Yeah.
If it's that simple, I mean, if you think that it's already right, exactly. Yeah. No, you're going to give me $50 for the effort. It's a $20 sketch, but you bitching to me, raise it to $50
for the privilege of using my blue lines.
Here, this
get out of my sight.
Deconstructed artwork, deconstructed, convention sketch. It's like you get to put it together yourself.
Unfortunately, I mean, there is. I have come across this in lots of different places, including people that have nothing to do with the industry, of suggesting that because you're doing it digitally, in some way you're cheating.
Yeah.
Which is tripe. It's still your lines. The only difference, I would say that there's the actual output. There's two differences. One, you can get a smoother line on a computer.
Right. Yeah.
But if that's the tool you choose, then that's the tool you choose. Other than that,
there are people who think that using reference is cheating.
You're
supposed to be able to just manifest all this just straight out of your brain.
Yeah. Other than that, it's it comes down to having an original piece, which is what this whole NFT thing is all about. Yeah. But personally, I think NFT is a con. I mean, I'd be more than happy to take a part in it. I don't care. I don't mind. But people's perceptions of what is an original item have been skewed to the point that they're prepared to take a piece of ones and zeros as an actual thing. Like, okay, if that's the world we live in, fine, I'll run with it and make money. I really don't mind.
Right, yeah, exactly.
But that I see is the only difference. It's the only difference. You're still you. It's just a set of tools.
Yeah.
When I've come to the point now that because of the way that I want my art to look, I'm drawing it digitally and then printing it out and inking it.
Yeah.
But I still occasionally, if I think something...
You're not inking, you're tracing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, some people would say you're tracing. So, it's like, how do you... It's just, everybody's got their opinion. And it seems to me that those that can't tend to have the loudest opinions.
Well, or the comment that doesn't burn to the back of my head. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one, and boy, do they love showing it on the internet.
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody listening to Indie Vote Radio right now. 62,000.
Hello.
9. And a question from Indie Vote
and they don't even know who we are. We haven't introduced ourselves yet.
That's true. Yeah.
We're
ready to disappoint.
We're about 30 minutes in, and nobody knows who are these clowns.
I guess I could start real quick.
You should.
And I got a question right after we finish, but from Indie Vote Radio from Mick. But this is my name is Ryan Grant. I'm the founder of Indie Vote Media LLC. Started making comics in 2008. I'm a comic book creator, publisher, artist, just all around no good Nick. And I'm a gamer geek, father, husband, reluctant taxpayer, electric bill payer. Sorry.
Yeah, no, for real.
and this is Indie Vote, the Breakfast Buzz. I'm joined by Randy Zimmerman. Hey, Randy.
Mike Timmy says introductions only now. Wow, that's almost a new record. Not really, Mike. We've gone entire shows without introductions.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. I'm Randy Zimmerman. I'm a longtime alternative and independent comics creator. Done just about everything in the direct market that you can imagine, and then some. Right now, I am working very hard on bringing back Arrow Comics to the direct market, where we will be offering at least 4 titles a month starting in August. So it'll be available exclusively through Liberty Distribution. Plus, I'm just finishing up the print files for our Indie Vote Revolt crowdfunding campaign book. It's going to be 140 pages thick of black and white short story goodness. So we're really glad that and thank everybody that backed that book. I'm looking forward to getting this book to the printer and moving on to the print files for Arrow Comics 4.0. So, and for more information on that, you can check out the Arrow Comics 4.0 Facebook page or Linktree, Instagram, or Twitter, wherever you can find us. We have some great stuff coming out. So there'll be a lot more announcements here in the upcoming days. So I keep promising. It's just I get swamped with stuff and haven't put anything up yet. So, it's all good. It's coming. It's coming. I swear. Also joining us is Daphne. Daphne.
Hello.
Introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Daphne Lage, and I'm a cartoonist, illustrator, and comic book artist from New York, which might explain a lot. I have been self-publishing comics since 1992, and I am known for the funny animal fantasy adventure Tall Tales, which I am just finishing fulfillment on my last Kickstarter. So I want to thank everybody for supporting that. And I am also known for my fantasy soap opera drama, Ego Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, which I'm just waiting for everything to come in so I can start the Kickstarter fulfillment process all over again, because we're masochists like that. And you can read both my comics at talltalesonline.com, it's TAILS, and egoworks.com, EGOWORKS.com. And you can check out all my videos on how I make these comics on YouTube at Daphne Lage, Lage Art.
And we want to point out to our listening audience that Daphne is broadcasting today from her aviary studio.
Yeah, no, it is. So, it is. So, yeah, so if you hear any weird noises, it's because I have a parrot over here.
That's not your smoke detector. It probably isn't your smoke detector. It's probably Daphne's parrot.
It's not a smoke detector. It's not a garbage truck all of a sudden in your house. Or an old man hacking up a lung. Because he does that too. It's gross.
Also joining us is Russ. Russ.
Hi there. Yeah, I don't have a parrot, but I may well have someone with Tourette's walking past occasionally. I'm a comic book artist from the UK. I've been in production, art direction, design, illustration, and publishing for 35 years, but I've only been drawing comics in anger since 2010. You can find me on the YouTubes as Comic Book Black Belt, and I currently have a book out called Only Death Can Save Us. You can find that at onlydeathcansavus.com, available in its current format until the 2nd of July, and I'm proud to be part of the Arrow Comics 4.0 team launching in August.
Only Death Can Save Us will be available bi-monthly starting in August from Arrow Comics and Liberty Distribution. That's ledg.us.
That's correct. That's correct. Real quick too, I just got an email follow-up from yesterday, follow-up from last night, and from John. John says thanks for the tip. He says the markers themselves are still working. It's just that the cases have been warped because of the sunlight.
Oh, the case.
So it's kind of hard to hold the markers.
You can buy bootleg versions of the case on Amazon. You can buy replacements.
For our listening audience, that was just Daphne's pencil sharpener.
Yeah, that was a sharpener. Yeah, that was a sharpener. Yeah.
John, his son left his markers, his Copic markers, $1,600 set in the car.
Oh
in
no!
the Arizona sun.
Yeah, over 2 days. In the hot 100-degree Arizona sun. Yeah, for 2 days.
Oh, that's a bummer.
At least the markers are still working.
The
Yeah,
markers are still working.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So it's just the case that melted, but that's still disgusting though. But yeah, you can
Would
buy.
you need to
you can
take
buy
that and
generic.
shake them for a while and hope that the liquid gets distributed back around so they don't clog up soon, or what? I don't know.
I told them to do to just put a couple of drops of alcohol in them to reactivate the pigment if that was the case. But I guess not. I guess he was just concerned. He was just upset about the case itself melting.
Just be glad it was the case.
Yeah, no, for real. That's
so the other message was the troll message, but this is one from Abdul. Abdul from IndieBot Radio. Thanks for listening. He says, I find it very frustrating and anti-communal that illustrators are not willing to send me digital files of their pencils for me to better my inking.
That guy.
We've run across him before. Is that the same guy we ran across before?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Maybe
like a similar. Because I remember you reading almost an exact question like
he
that.
He says that I'm trying to ingratiate myself to other artists by showing them that I can ink their work, maybe even develop a partnership like Jim Lee and Williams. But if you won't allow me to use your pencils to better myself, how am I supposed to get better? This is a community and we should be helping each other.
It's a business.
Sorry, not sorry, bro.
Abdul, here's the thing. I understand what you're saying. I get it. Because this industry is, you can't get work unless you had work. There are plenty of pencils out there you can find. And I mean, there's some on DeviantArt you can download. You're asking for digital files so you can ink them. I get that. I think that the reason why you're gonna run into some hesitation is because I know people who will take those digital files, print them out, ink them, take them to a con, sell them as originals, and
or worse still, put them up on eBay.
As original, and they'll be like, only Death Can Save Us, number 1, page 4 original inks, and to the person who doesn't know, they think they got a Russ Lease original, just inked by some other guy, and they think that because they don't know, did this guy ink that book for us? Sweet, and they buy it. And they get it home and realize that not only did they purchase a photocopy, $100 photocopy, but this ink job doesn't even appear in the book. So I can understand why you're running into problems. Reach out to artists, let them know that's your intention. Say, hey, I'm an inker, I'm looking to get better. You might find 1 or 2 artists who are willing to send you not their entire book, but a couple pages just to test you out to see how you are.
Yeah.
I don't know a single artist that won't do that if you reach out, unless they're happy.
I won't. Don't contact me because I won't.
Daphne inks her own stuff. Yeah. I mean, there's some projects here they're not gonna let you ink because I probably wouldn't let you ink The Begotten because I want to ink it. But that's because I'm penciling it in a way that I know what I got to go in and fix and finish.
I'd be happy to, if he wants to send me a DM. I have some Doctor Who pages he could ink.
Okay.
Because I ink those digitally, so there are no originals of those.
Okay.
But I've also got some bits and pieces from Draw the Marvel Way where I did the pencils, and again a lot of that is digitally inked. So more than happy for him to have a couple of those.
There you go.
But I think if you reach out to most artists, as long as they're not giving away their IP, which is exactly what you're saying. I mean, I wouldn't want him to go around inking only Death Can Save Us pages because I'm inking them. So I want no confusion over that. Nobody else should be inking those pages.
Professor Trico stated, I'm really starting to cringe whenever I hear the term community.
Yeah, me too.
Me too. Yeah. Really. Me too.
There is a community.
Get on the same page, people.
There is, when you call it a community, family, collegial connections, network, whatever you want to call it, it's there. And there should be a healthy competition between artists and creators. There should be a healthy networking where you can help each other with advice and all kinds of stuff. But make no mistake, it is a business. People are not here to charitably give you stuff.
Yeah.
Or they're not here to say, oh, you're in the same community as me, I'm going to give you something. No, We're all here to have an audience. Maybe those audiences cross over. Sometimes we can work with each other. We should always be professional and polite to each other and courteous. Okay, but that doesn't make it a community. It's an industry. It's a business. It should be, and it would be healthier if everybody approached it like that.
Right, yeah.
And nobody's more courteous than Mike Jimmy, who says, pro tip, Indie Volt question, make your own shit.
Saves you a lot of it saves you a lot of problems. I swear to God. You don't have to worry about, like artists arguing with you. You don't have to worry about whether, things are being represented properly or whatnot. It's like you do your own shit, you tell your own story, you get the story you want to see, and everyone lives happily ever after. That's the idea.
Nita says, no, there are several small gangs.
Yeah.
Those are cliques.
Yeah.
And there's nothing good that ever come out of a clique.
No, really. It's
Trico says what Russ said about community is 100% true.
Yeah. It's like, look, I have a community in my neighborhood until the crazy cat lady shows up, and then we're like, all right, no, fuck that bitch.
Mike Jimmy says, I courteously think you're a blood twat.
That's
Thanks,
the
Mike. I still like you, though.
That's the Power Girl story.
Oh. Hey, everybody, we're rated TVMA DLSV.
D for Daphne.
D for Daphne, or the V stands for Varian.
Yeah. I make no mistake, listeners, that when we're not live and we're in the back room and Daphne's talking, she's always the bluest of all of us.
I did say I was from New York. Right?
Yeah. It's like when I worked in the plant, I realized that the women were the worst ones. Like you're like, hey guy, don't say that around the women. The women were like, did she just say what I think?
Fuck you.
Yeah. It was like, wow, did you hear what she just said? It was ridiculous.
There was a funny incident where we met up with one of JD's high school friends for the longest time. And we haven't seen him in a while. And at the time, he had gotten really big into, well, now the Village is not the Village anymore, but it was the Village back then. And he was really into like goth vampire lifestyle at the time. And so we met up with him and his goth girlfriend, who completely hated the fact that he was hanging out with us normies. And he started taking us around St. Mark's. And again, St. Mark's is not the same it is now. I mean, this is where, CBGB's was there, and all of the porno houses were there, and all the fetish shops. So he started.
The good old days.
Yeah, the good old days. Because now it's just all Starbucks and artisanal mayonnaise shops. So so he started taking us to all these fetish leather shops, thinking like he was going to spook the normies. And I'm just sitting, and I'm just walking through these shops, like studying everything. But it's like, oh yeah, I've drawn that, I've drawn that, I've drawn that, I've drawn that, And he just found it funny how it's like, no matter where he took us, like we didn't blink. And mind you, this is like after we did an entire run on some hardcore hentai stuff in comics, La Blue Girl and Demon Beast Invasion. And he didn't know that. So he's thinking he's being shocking to us, and we're just staring at him. It's like going, oh, dude, you have no idea. So yeah, never assume anything about anybody.
Yeah.
You never know. You never really know. Jimmy says in quotations, I love y'all.
Aw.
And this is from Malcolm.
Marvi says a lot of the problem is that a lot of inkers don't know how to draw, and that's why some are desperate for work.
Isn't it?
Hit that bell.
Really?
That's the way it worked. You see, back in the day, and this is what I would love to do. I would love to be able to partner with an inker who was, I've got to say this carefully without sounding arrogant, who was a good artist, okay, in their own right.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I could hand over stuff that was half finished, like they used to in the old days. But basically, I could let my pencils free. I could just get on and say, right, okay, I know that this is going to get represented correctly. And the inker would then bring their talent to the party, and it would be a true melding of the penciler and the inker, which is the way that comics used to be. Comics turned into a lot of inking, and this has to be taken in the way that it's meant, because there are a lot of great inkers out there. I bump into them all the time. All right, very skillful people, but it's very easy for you to set yourself up as an inker by just tracing pencils that are incredibly tight.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
and then you don't actually get the experience of embellishing, of finishing it off, of making it your own piece.
We have a friend that's pretty local, lives here in the state, who collects a lot of original art from a lot of really big people. And he was showing me his collection one time, and I ran across this beautifully penciled, dynamic picture of Submariner. And I'm like, who the heck did this? This is amazing. And I looked at the signature. It's Joe Sinnott.
Yeah, Joe Sinnott is
just amazing,
fabulous artist in his own right. But then if you look at the differences in pencils that he got, say just on the Fantastic Four run over that period, where some of the artists might have been up against it, so the pencils weren't as tight, and yet he was solid. Reed Richards' face never changed. and I only came to that sort of a couple of years ago, where I appreciated that it wasn't just John Buscema or Jack Kirby or whoever I was looking at there. It was Joe Sinnott as well. Yeah. It was the amalgamation of the incredible talent that went on in that run. People don't appreciate that.
Marv's running. Take care. See you later. Got lots to eat and drink.
There you go.
Have a great afternoon or great evening, Marv. Take care. That would be afternoon over there. At 3:45 in the afternoon.
Yeah,
it's lunchtime.
From Indie Vault Radio, this is from Malcolm. Malcolm says, Varian.
Is he in the middle?
He says, Varian, you said on the show last week that indie creators need to submit to indie outlets because the mainstream doesn't care about us. But how can you say that? I reached out to you 2 months ago about combining your efforts to push indie comics with mine, and you weren't interested. Malcolm, and I believe I know what email you're talking about.
Malcolm, are you gonna get told right now?
What you're referring, what Malcolm, for context, everyone, what Malcolm wanted me to do was he appreciated everything we're doing in Indie Vault, and he wanted to combine efforts, in that he wanted me to basically bring. I have no problem sharing your news. I have no problem, we've always done that. He wanted to basically take over. I'm gonna be honest with you. You want to take over, so it was gonna be, Indie Vault. It will become whatever the name of. And Malcolm, I'm not gonna put you on blast here, but the name of Malcolm's company would become, his thing, because he has a Facebook group.
No wonder, Varian. No wonder you have a bad back. All those footprints that are on there. It's
and that's what he wanted. So Indie Vault Radio will become the name of his Facebook group. Indie Vault TV will become the name of his Facebook group, and that's why Malcolm, I wasn't interested. And I told you, and
was it Malcolm who offered you $4,500?
No, it wasn't. I wish it. And if he would have sweetened the pot with that, maybe we could have made a deal. No, it's but no, Malcolm. That's why. And Malcolm, and like you said, I was offered $4,500 for
Malcolm. Are you full of shit?
Hold on. What's going on? Was he offering this because he felt his Facebook group was so big?
Yeah, his Facebook group,
and so he felt he was the bigger organization.
Yeah, his Facebook group has I think 4,000 members.
What's our radio numbers right now?
What's our radio numbers right now?
Radio numbers right now are 71,808.
I'm afraid, Malcolm, there's your answer.
71,000.
And there's a difference between saying you want to make things work and you want to push indie comics and all the rest of it. Oh, and by the way, can you come over to me with what you've got and I'll take over? That's not a combined effort.
It's the whole I have the ideas, but you're the one that has to do all the work.
Yeah.
And it was. I'm not looking down on his. I'm not looking down on his channel either. I'm not looking down on that channel. His group. I
respectable number.
Yeah.
That was with the greatest respect to Malcolm. It's like, that's not the way it works. We all know right at the moment that just because you're getting great results on social media, it doesn't equate to sales.
Yeah.
So by thinking that is in some way has got you leverage when it comes to acquiring a business, I don't quite see the link personally. Maybe I'm just getting old, Malcolm. Maybe I'm just old.
It wasn't me, being a prick. It just that.
Well, that's how it's going to. Obviously, according by the tone of his email, that's exactly how he's taking it. You say no.
It's gonna be. I said no, but it wasn't like. And again,
But community.
Malcolm, it's just that you didn't. It's like I'm still growing in Evo into what I think it could, be. But I don't think that turning over the keys to everything is right now, especially because seriously, I put a lot of money in the indie vote. There's a lot of money wrapped up in indie vote. I have to recoup that loss.
None of this stuff is cheap, kid.
Yeah, really. And also, it's like, okay, so you run a Facebook group, big deal. Do you know how to run an actual company? I mean, do you have an example of that? Do you actually have your own company that you're running?
If you know how to do that, can you tell me?
Right.
Well,
you keep starting them.
Yeah, I keep starting them, and I'm like, man, what am I doing? What am I doing? How's this run again? Oh, I'm supposed to do that? No, Malcolm, I wasn't being a prick when I told you no, it wasn't. But I do think what I meant when I say indie creators need to do that is because we could submit stuff to companies that are going to push our content, because it is so hard to get Bleeding Cool to notice your work. It's so hard to get CBR to notice your work. And when
here's how you guarantee that they'll pay attention to you. You have to work for Marvel or DC.
Yeah,
that's how you guarantee they pay attention to you. Because in the end, that's the only reason they even started their company, because they're riding it hard, and that's what they're into.
Journalism, it's become a revolving. Yeah, it's become a revolving door. There is very little journalism. Whether it's comic book or whether it's in the mainstream media, very little journalism exists anymore.
I wouldn't even call it journalism.
No, most of it is just repeating. You just repeat what you're told to repeat, or you just sycophant to the person that you want to end up working for. Yeah, whether that's the government or whether that's Marvel, you just sycophant. That's
selective. So. Yeah, yep. So true.
I there's a young lady who works for Indie Vault. She does reviews, and she does articles. She didn't do reviews. She does articles. I think she did a review, though. I think she did a review. But she does articles for me occasionally. And she's like one of the last few people who they know what journalism is. And she tells me that it's so easy. She mentioned what you said, Russ. It's so easy to take a press release, and so many companies are happy with you to take the press release and just regurgitate it rather than you actually saying, hey, you know what? I looked at this content and it's not as good as they said it is, but here,
that's because journalism doesn't exist to actually tell you the truth anymore. It just exists to regurgitate the message. All you need to do is look at the BBC and sit there for half an hour, and before you know it, you'll see one anchor talking to another journalist, talking to another correspondent about their views on a subject. I don't give a shit about your views, Mr. Correspondent. I want you to tell me the truth.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
There you go.
Well, they don't call it programming for nothing.
No. Exactly, yeah.
There you go. That, and you almost have to be out of the country in order to get the news.
Right. of
Well,
the
actually,
country that,
what's
yeah,
funny,
exactly, yeah.
gotten to
I
the
found
point for me.
lately I found Sky News to be a lot more informative than any of the networks here.
You want to try Sky News Australia? They're brilliant.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
and mind
about.
you, Disney tried to buy them
Amazing.
too.
They're
And
Yeah, well, that's a
hysterical.
good
pissed
reason they
already.
did that too,
Yeah.
because that I haven't seen more journalism anywhere, especially the last couple of weeks, than I have on Sky News. It's been like, really? Wow, we never heard about that here.
Which is complete opposite in the UK. It's terrible. It's hideous.
Yeah, I've gone to looking for I've gone to like always
yeah.
going back, finding the original like AP article or Reuters, because because that's the source of where everybody gets their news, so where they buy from. And what was interesting when I started doing that is seeing, so you see the article on Reuters, and then you start seeing how every publication that buys that article starts changing that article
Spins
to
it.
fit whatever narrative that they want.
Yep.
And it's like, and it's really fascinating once you know what you're looking at. But it's like, so that's why I always try to go to the source.
I've given up anyway. I don't watch.
Well, that's true
everybody.
too, yeah.
Everybody, stop being programmed. Turn your television set off and go and read a book. For Christ's sake.
Really,
All right,
go
just
outside,
go
breathe some air.
outside, and there's nothing you can do about it. So just get on and just do it. I draw funny books for a living. Like that's
exactly.
Sod the news.
For our audience, we've just been joined by Mr. Mark Darden. Mark, how are you?
Hello.
Oh, I'm doing good.
Hey.
Introduce yourself to the listening audience.
Oh, sure. I'm Mark Darden, and writer, creator of The Guano Guy. So do comics a bit, and worked on the big indie project that was Image Grand Disaster, Image Grand Design.
Mike Jimmy says, I heard Varian will go for $20K.
That's half my light bill.
Oh,
and where will you go?
That's what I can use 10 of that on my light bill.
Yeah,
that'd be great. That'd be great.
Mike, are you suggesting
stop
Varian is cheap?
Not according to his light bill.
No,
Obviously, he's running the Vegas Strip from his house.
Yeah.
apparently.
Well, the thing is, so me sweating is a bad idea, and it's summertime now, so the air conditioner is like the central air is constantly on.
Yeah.
And so I know that I know that adds to it, and I've been trying to figure out ways other than sitting around naked, which I think would be frowned upon. Yeah.
Especially on YouTube.
yeah, I just sit here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my naked cast.
Glenn.
Topless cast.
Yeah. Glenn agrees. I'm finding the only news that is correct and true is coming out of Australia.
You also have a really good Shark Tank.
Glenn Flemin's opinion. Shark Tank.
Yeah. News at 10. We have sharks and it's hot.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. There you go. It's all you need to know.
That's probably because everything down under wants to kill you.
Yes.
Well,
the world's smallest octopus is the most venomous animal ever to exist. I go, Australia, what's wrong with you?
I try to whenever whenever we have articles on Indie Vote, I try to, make sure that they're accurate and like Randy used to do an editorial on there. And it was basically, basically Randy's soapbox. Basically, it was. I think.
I guess what was it? I remember something being called that. I think when you used to run your blog, I think it's like you call it.
I used to have little Randy rants, but that was years and years ago.
Yeah.
But we try to make sure that the news is on there. I think
I got out of comics and stopped being angry for a while. Did my own newspaper for about 10 years.
Yeah.
It's like the slogan that I see on the news station here that I kind of stole for Indie Vote, which was be informed, not influenced. And so when it comes to when it comes to us, trying to share indie comics news, I try to not influence anybody. I mean, we've had people on the air that we've taken a task before about things. You shouldn't have did that. That was dumb. But you can still come on the show.
Our motto here on Indie Vote is that if there's news, we'll break it.
Yeah.
It's really nice, Russ.
Thank you.
Still looking.
He's I don't know if I like Russ's new layout. I can't see his face. It bothers me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not
Just
sure
behind his microphone. Yeah.
Well, you're
there we go.
You're lucky I couldn't. My Mac can't run OBS and StreamYard at the same time because I would have been doing the same thing.
Lola's becoming quite the OBS master. She's moving stuff around and she's in there, and I'm like, well, you're going to be streaming yourself, twitching yeah, on Twitch in no time. And I told her, I said, so you think that you get trolled now?
Well, that's because Twitch is full of like 13-year-olds with nothing to do.
Yeah,
that's what people need to realize. The context.
So it's the kids' Twitter. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
Twitter for kids.
I like going. I watch that, and I watch PlayStation. Gamers play on PlayStation, and I started a drinking game with Lola one night. I said, "Let's see, we're gonna." Every time someone says, "Ooh, look at," like it's a female gamer, milkers, you take a shot.
Oh my god, I can't stand that word.
Yeah. Every time someone says, every time someone writes "show feet," we're going to take a shot. And she was like, "We'll be drunk before the end of the night." I'm like, "Yeah, we'll be drunk before the stream is over."
That's the objective.
Yeah, and that's what they do. Like, you go on any of those streams where those girls are playing games, it's the two requests.
Here, I'm gonna get us subscribers. I'm gonna get us subscribers. Woo!
Yeah, it's subscribers. Look, the view counters went up to 8. It went to 6. The view count did go up. That's weird. So,
Jesus Christ, people.
She's like,
put some shoes on at least,
That's how they are. That's how they are.
Hive of
Mike
scum
said, "Woo,
and villainy."
Really?
Sugar Chris says, "Now I'm glad I'm not looking at the screen."
Yeah, that's why I do not have a shoe cam. Yeah.
That was an old post taken out of context.
Okay. Now we have we demonetize. We're not monetized anyway. Don't worry.
Never
you showed ankle.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Holy crap!
What?
That's what Mike Jimmy says. Woo, ankles. Scandalous.
What are people getting upset that you're showing ankle?
Daphne's feet and Randy's ear. That was amazing.
That's a category all on its own.
Yeah, upset they're not allowed to watch anyway.
Well, they're having people who've been upset about Lola's shoe cam.
Yeah.
What about it? What's
just jealous? Just jealous.
Because we're not pure and representing the female.
You didn't see their new.
Heaven forbid if we have a sense of humor.
Did you see the new? Did you see the new Geekgasm? The new Geekgasm slogan. The girls have a new slogan over there.
Hashtag Hail Hose.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And it's funny because the minute someone writes it, they all say it at the same time. So it's
yeah, exactly. Instead of Hail Hydra, we're going to be whispering each other.
I like that's funny.
Yeah. So at least nobody can accuse us of not having a sense of humor.
I think the human race is collectively starting to lose its sense of humor.
So
it's like
that's
really everyone's full of brainworms.
Mark, go ahead.
You're gonna have a very different battle with Steve Rogers in the elevator.
Right.
For this, Evan. It's 10 on 1.
Mind your language, young lady.
Yeah. I want to make sure we take a look.
Speaking of Geekgasm, Meredith's in the house.
Hey, Meredith.
Hello, Meredith. Hope you're doing well this morning.
Hey, Meredith.
Good morning, Meredith. Just taking a look here. Promise we would. I've been told to make sure we keep an eye on it.
Why? On what?
What?
I was going to share my screen, but then my
and then the porn popped up.
no. Then my browser decided it wasn't going to. It's going to stop responding. But I was going to show so I may have to boot out, but I'll come back.
Okay.
Jake says, "What did I stumble onto?"
You missed it. You missed it, Jake.
Missed it all.
Yeah.
Stephanie's foot in my ear. That's what you missed.
Can't say, look. We aim to entertain because in the end, that's what we are. We're entertainers.
You're gonna have to step out. We'll talk to Mark about his campaign. You
Oh,
got
there
a
you go.
campaign running right now, Mark, right?
Oh yeah. Still got the Guano guys going. 13 more days, just under 2 weeks. So yeah, I'd love to get more readers in on that. I mean, gosh, it's another 40 pager. There's amazing artists on it, and there's not that many funny books, that are really, really cute. So
True.
a lot of humor and jokes. If you're, Venture Brothers fan or the Batman 66 show, pretty much any good cartoon, we got you covered.
I do believe Varian is frozen.
Yeah.
He's been in the same smile for the last few minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, there he goes.
Programming.
No, I think he's trying to hold it.
Now there was two of them just for a short
There we
period.
go.
Yeah,
No, he's trying to hold it.
It's
He's
very
trying to make
weird.
us think whether he's frozen or not.
Yeah,
13 more days on Guano Guy.
Yeah, 13 more days. So Guano guy, and yeah, I mean it's hilarious. It's a lot of fun, and the artists that I get to work with are fantastic. So, and we're at 8 issues now, so there's a good 250 pages. It's a lot to read.
Sweet.
Yeah, and also the thing is too, it's like how rare it is for a creator on Kickstarter to say they're up to issue 8. Oh,
Yeah.
we lost everybody.
Now we lost Mark.
Uh-oh. Maybe it's a StreamYard thing.
Could be.
Not sure. I think he's back somewhat. Mark, you there?
It's
Yeah,
versus OBS.
Oh, Yeah.
There
There
I
he is.
am.
there you go.
Boy,
Yeah, so what I was
there.
saying is that actually how pretty rare it is for a creator on Kickstarter to actually say I'm up to issue 8. Usually,
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time it's like you're lucky they hit issue 2 and not disappear.
Yeah, and I've delivered on all of the Kickstarters so far, and that's through computer dying and pandemic. So you can trust you're going to get your stuff. I think that's for every dollar you give me, you will get entertainment.
Cool.
Yeah, I
There's
see
two. There's 2 marks now. Boom.
Oh,
Oh,
I think you're trying to share a screen that's not.
Were you
loaded.
trying to share a screen?
I will share.
Nope, there it
Yes.
went. It's gone now.
Oh boy.
yeah, stream. Then that has to be a StreamYard thing, man. What's going on?
Yeah. yeah.
Mike Jimmy says,
I'm sorry if my foot broke the internet. I'm sorry.
I gotta admit the difference
Sorry,
between
everybody.
unfrozen variant and frozen variant is very little.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same.
Did we go up on our number just because Daphne showed her feet?
My
We-
foot
we-
is too hot for YouTube. I'm sorry.
Yeah, someone's gonna.
We're gonna get that-
over there, Indie Vault. They're showing feet.
We're gonna get that copyright strike for sure now. Look
Now,
at that.
So this is not from the Guano guy. I just really wanted to show people about Image Grand Disaster. Awesome
Sweet.
Blood Wolf story here.
I was about to say, it's like, whoa, that looks like from the 90s. What?
Yeah. It does. It's fantastic. It was a really fun one. We had a fun Boof story. A Darius Dax, that's a Supreme Villain. And it had some fun stuff with people from the Rock Diner, the Savage Dragons crew, Monster Man and Mr. Monster, Tony Farrow here. And we were having fun with, Doc Terror, essentially, some of the 70s characters, the original Daredevil.
I like the way that the styles really, really change to reflect the age you're trying to imitate.
Yeah, so many different artists, so many different styles. Yeah, people telling, stall tales, stories during the bathroom break. That was Jerome Cabanatan there, and then Missimo here, another awesome style.
The girl there with the mohawk. There was a Dollar Tree toy. They ripped her off totally. Like the jawline, the robotic jaw, the mohawk. It was one of those because I don't know where those figures came from because they had a really good artwork on the side. I could place the artist. Like they actually commissioned an artist to draw these characters.
China.
But like a decently known artist. Like somebody made like $1,000 or $2,000. But yeah. Now Walmart has Action Force, their own G.I. Joe brand.
Mm-hmm.
Action Force, very different. Yes.
Yeah.
Sam Blanchard, another good art piece. I only got a few more of these.
That was cool. I like that.
John Ashton Golden
This is
did
awesome stuff.
He did Free Force 20.
Hi, Mike.
They stopped at 19. He went ahead and carried it on. We got a Pit Story. You don't see him on page 1 here. Sam and Twitch are in it as well.
So if you want high quality copyright infringement that also supports a good cause,
Thanks for that lead in, Daphne.
right?
Gonna break that news. That last page is really cool. Is that Randy? Is that the Ted McKeever style? Yeah. To the page before this. Could you go back to that, Mark?
Oh.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, Tony McMillan's the artist on this one. And a lot of these guys have their own comics, but yeah, $5 to the Hero Initiative and get 200 pages of really fun Image fan stuff with no pay going to us. We're not collecting anything. But yeah, I wanted to share those.
Yeah, I like that page.
Critical Blasters. They didn't commission an artist. Someone had an image on the internet in China. Workers Googled it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, that's.
I was thinking, you guys are right, because I've got this whole, like, I don't sleep at night anymore. Something's wrong with my brain, and so I stay up and I start doing these I watch like Times Square at 3 a.m. People are weird, by the way. And I'm weird for staying up at 3 a.m, but
wow.
There are people walking the streets at 3 a.m. in New York, and I'm like, what are they doing? But I started taking tours around Bangkok.
Come on, Varian, you know what they're doing.
I started taking tours around Bangkok, and it's weird, man. Bangkok is and then China in those factories, like, because they had a guy walk past one of them, you could see there were workers, and one guy had a laptop, and he's putting it in and they were getting excited, and they ran back in the building. I said, they just stole artwork, probably. That's gonna be on t-shirts.
I mean, the unfortunate thing is that's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I remember there was one incident where one of those companies literally ripped artwork off of DeviantArt and were publishing their own art books.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that's the reality of the situation,
Did Soul Ride put a story there for us to read?
Well, it looks like a pitch. Honestly, like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah. Should I read it?
Hell yeah! It looks like
it's just out for attention. Unless you know so right.
Is it a question?
No, it's like a story. Well, I'll leave it there. But yeah. Bangkok, Oriental City. What the city don't know what the city is getting. Also, I promised I would take a look at this too. Over on.
Also, we should note for our listening audience, we're joined by Mike Jimmy. Mike, you should introduce yourself.
I'm Mike Jimmy of Fairies and Ents. I'm drawing Live from Korra, my main series. I got several other things going on, and Live from Korra issue 4 is going to launch tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern on Indiegogo. So, cool. Looking forward to that one.
Indiegogo, go.
Yeah.
I promise.
Everybody on the crowdfunding train.
Yeah. I promise I will look at this and keep our viewers up to date. $12,291 so far.
Right.
Yeah. They're asking $25,000 though.
Well,
but can we actually look into it?
They got 26 days.
Yeah, we can look into it.
Do they have
Is that gate kept? I mean, is anyone allowed to sign up?
Well, you see, this is the thing, though, because that was one of the things that I was concerned about, because they said, because in their press release, they had said that they had somebody who worked at Kickstarter, and immediately all the bells started going off, and I go, who did they hire from Kickstarter? And I think it's the same woman who caused a lot of trouble over at Kickstarter.
I will say these covers though. These covers.
So I'm a little,
cool.
I'm very sus about it. But yeah.
So if I marched over there and said, right, I want only Death Can Save Us on there, please, they'd go, no, sorry. No.
Well, right now it's by invite only. Well, right now it's invite only. So
it's an invite only
right now.
Crowdfunding.
Well, which is typical when new platforms start off. It usually starts off as invite only because they want people to come in and beta test it. And also in this case too, they also want to bring in people who are going to raise $12,000 on a never heard of platform so that it looks better. So
yeah.
But like I said, I say we can watch it for 6 months and see what happens.
Yeah.
There's two things going on. Like there's either of two things going on here. Like either those numbers are not really real. I'm sorry to say it.
Oh,
or it's the fear of missing out. And then people are going, "Oh my God, new platform, let's check it out." It's either of those two things, and I'm not trying to bash anyone or anything. If they are, legit and they made 12,000 so far, good on them, But for the most part, I'm very, very skeptic about it.
Yeah, like I said, I say give it. Let them, because also this is also the same company that they want to be able to offer printing for you, your fulfillment, like kind of like a one-stop shop. And also they only specialize in comics. You're not going to find like solar panels and stuff on this. It's like it's just comics. But I think it's a feasible idea, but it's not something. Yeah, it's like I'm not a first adapter, so it's like I'm going to wait the 6 months to a year, see how it kind of works out, and then
I understand why you would do it invite only.
Yeah,
but I don't subscribe to that concept because of the market we are currently in. Okay, we've had several strong years of crowdfunding comics. It's obvious that the industry is in a state. If you were the thing that Kickstarter and Indiegogo both don't have is a comics only environment.
Right. Yeah.
So that's the big thing. You should be launching this with a massive fanfare, with an already well tested back end. Okay, and going out there and trying to grab as many people as you can to come on that platform. It seems like a very soft launch, and it doesn't sound like it's something that
it comes off as very manipulative.
Yeah,
because
and that puts me off straight away.
People who will make the platform look better.
Yeah,
and then it's like, and then what happens when we're all coming in, and then we realize, oh well, their friends made all the money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It just doesn't feel right to me.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I just spent like the last 10 minutes for some reason looking for Guano Guy, could not find it, and then I realized I'm looking on the wrong platform.
Oh.
I'm looking for Guano Guy on Indiegogo. I'm like, I know what's up here.
You fool.
Yeah. I'm like, man, where
you're muted, Mark.
Oh, Mark is muted. Yeah,
Mark, you're muted.
Probably just as well. There were many expletives.
I did nothing more than a laugh during that, so there was.
I was like, why am I not seeing? And I'm looking. I'm like, has it been taken down?
I kicked up a link too. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Guano Guy. There it is.
Yeah, and if anybody checks on here, so you can get issue number 1 PDF, so you can go ahead and read that, see if you like it. That's a pretty easy way to figure it out. There's also a preview video of the cool art on here, and several videos I did from readings from previous issues.
It's
and this guy.
I gathered together
that weirdo.
Cuteness. Sorry, buddy. And aliens. Let's get some of that in there. The cook-up. the wildest Guano Guy adventure yet. Did all of this in my space boat. Oh, it's ready. It's the biggest Guano Guy comic ever. A monster of a book so big you'll need to step back to read it. Not actual size of comics. The Guano Guy comic is filled with big adventures, big accusations, and the big sleep. The big sleep! Oh, it's the most fun comic your friend has never heard of. So help them and me by joining the Guano Guy campaign today. Guano Guy for Galactic Emperor.
The red shirt, I think, really makes it. That was a very well made decision to wear that shirt.
The red shirt with the burns on it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's cool. Love that layout.
Yeah, you get pure art cover style, or you can get the the 70s style one that's practically a story on the cover.
That's groovy.
All the silly dialogue and the old classic, the faces, except they're all in dice shapes because of Dice Cube, the enemy on the cover there.
That's
groovy,
awesome,
baby.
And the colorist did a nice job of muting the colors that are behind the glass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that the guys on the outside looking to break in really stand out.
What's up on Twitter, Jake?
Oh, you know how much I hate Twitter. I don't know. Is my feet already on Twitter?
Oh boy.
I don't want to.
Let me see. Let me go look.
Yeah, Variant, go vet Twitter.
We're a whole 400 away from getting this bonus print kicked into the.
Ooh.
Oh, I gotta show it.
Wait.
I gotta put it up.
Oh, we got a
awesome
good
art.
Twitter.
Awesome
Oh
art.
boy.
It's going on.
So on Twitter, do you?
It's going. It's. I'm sorry. Hold on. It's got to go on.
Gotta get into the real guano now.
Oh boy. Yeah,
I'm all excited. What's going
Real
on?
guano.
Oh god.
There it is.
There
There
you
it
go.
is. It's Daphne's Hell Hose.
Yeah, hell hose.
Loving it, Jake.
Hashtag.
Thank you, Jake.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Jake.
I'll be saving that. And putting it on
Somebody has to make Twitter a nice place to live.
We'll make sure. I'll make sure that it's tweeted out on the Geekgasm Hell Hose. It's awesome. You guys need that on shirts. I'm telling you. Guano Guy. There's I keep thinking that's Princess Diana. I see it for some reason.
Not thanks. And now I can't see it.
So
No.
Too soon? I don't know.
Professional reporter Rita Bratica. That is a business attire there. You can see the microphone as well as Thor's hammer. We finally get some resolution on that one. For those who are reading along.
We were just talking about proper journalism too.
and she's got her microphone. She's out there.
Yeah, we all know chasing people around through tunnels is proper journalism.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
That's. I just thought it was. Never mind. I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut.
With a girl in a yellow jumpsuit, of course.
They really created the news on that day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You changed the graphics here too, Mark. On the campaign.
Oh, I keep adding stuff,
Yeah.
Keep updating and put new things in, getting the videos in. This is the top tier level with all the books and PDFs and everything.
That's a package.
Yeah. There's bonus stickers and prints. This is a print pack that's available. Little add-on. There's a few of them. There's not a ton of them available.
Now, what does one have to do to get their hands on the Guano Guy package, the best package?
What do we need to do to get our hands on your package?
Yeah.
Yeah, hit me up on the Twitter later. And
Oh.
See, Mark, you're better than me. He's Australian. I want to hear his voice when he touches my package. I want to hear that accent to really get into it.
Yeah. We've been joined by Travis Gibb. Travis, introduce yourself real quick.
Hi, I'm Travis Gibb. I do comics like Broke Down and 4 Dead Bodies, Cthulhu Invades Oz, Voodoo Nations, all sorts of cool stuff.
And just joining. People hear voice like, who's that? I hear someone talking. I don't know who that is. So
Right.
Randy's reminded me now when someone new comes in to make sure
we do have a radio audience.
Yeah, make them introduce themselves. Yeah,
that's rather large. Just a little large.
Just a tad.
Could always be larger.
It's weird.
Tell your friends.
Is it bad? I don't know. Does anybody else do this? Do you avoid updates to the campaign after you back it because you kind of want to be surprised? Because sometimes I do that. Like after I back a campaign, I don't look at it again. Like I'll look at like certain updates, but there's a part of me that wants to be surprised.
I mean, I kind of do that, but only because like once I back a campaign, it's like that's it. I don't need to know anymore until I get the book, so I don't follow it after I back it.
I mean, I will go back and check if I haven't.
It's not on purpose.
Yeah.
Like I've only once forgotten about a campaign, and then a comic showed up months later, and I was like, "What?"
You were Kickstarted.
Kickstarter.
Yeah.
That's usually my bank account's problem.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I thought I had more. Oh, I backed a Kickstarter.
Right, yeah. No, it's more like,
months,
oh crap, I
4 months
backed
later.
17 of them.
Yeah, there you go. Meredith says, hey, Travis, congratulations on the projects we love for Voodoo Nations.
Oh,
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats, man. Also,
Yeah, it meant a lot to me. We got it on Cthulhu Invades Oz, but there's so many creators in there. It's hard to like fully take credit for it, right? You're like, no, like you clearly like everyone else because they're way more talented than me. So now it's me and Luke, and I know I'm more talented than Luke, so I was fine. No, I'm just kidding, but now me and Luke did a great job.
I mean, I'm assuming that that's like completely random, right? That's you're literally just getting someone's attention there, and
yes, it's curated to a degree.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's part of, they look at your campaigns and how much money it brings in and how it helps them. I 100% is a little biased. I think there's a little bit of that. I also think, on the other hand, that it's what they do is they look at what genres need to be fixed, because it tends to be a little social justice, what's in the news, what's in the now, what's making an impact, and then it's random from that. Because, two white guys making a voodoo book is probably not something they'd normally pick as projects we love.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
There's
and we just want to point out that Mark Darden needs to leave.
Yeah.
It's time for him to go. He's got to get to work.
All live on Kickstarter.
Mark, tell people one more time how they can get a hold of you.
Yeah, Mark Darden on Facebook, or the Guano Guy on Facebook. The Guano Guy campaign's going on. And I dropped a link for Image Grand Disaster and Design. Both books are available, $5 Hero Initiative. And there's like 70, 80 creators on that. So great stuff.
I'll put it in the chat and in the description too.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And I really got to skedaddle off to the airplanes now.
There you go.
Bring them in.
Thank you for having me on. Very
Mark, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Good luck on that campaign.
Take it easy, dude.
Bye.
I think that when I there's a book every time I go to, and you guys know I go to Second and Charles quite a bit, but there's a book in there called Two Dead, and I've been meaning to take a picture of it, and
Two Dead.
Yeah, Two Dead. I've been meaning to take a picture of it and like put it next to Travis' book and say this is the most confusing book series ever, because his is his is how many, I don't know, the titles just remind me of each other. It's like,
what are you saying?
I don't know why. He's got broke down in 4 dead bodies.
Oh,
right? And then
sometimes you just have to let it flow over you.
They got 2 dead. And I'm like, is it the same series? It's like there's the comic Two Guns. They made a movie out of Denzel and Mark Wahlberg. Sure. And I got another a book over here called I think it's like
Trish says, good morning, Trish.
Hey.
Well, Heads in a Duffel Bag was taken variant, so I had to do
I think it's like the one I got is it's like One Gun or something like that. And it's like, is this the same book? But it's not. But it's the titles are very close. I don't know. My brain works that way. Maybe it's the Asperger's. I don't know. It's like,
so I wanted to tell you why I wanted to come on here today. Yes, of course I'm promoting stuff, but one of the reasons why I want to come out, I did a chat last night with Tyler Carpenter, and someone wrote him an email and literally took credit for everything I've ever done. Like
What?
literally his promotion, even though this person's only been around for a year, he's like, I made Cthulhu Invades Osk fund. I made Voodoo Nations fund. I made Broke Down fund. Like I don't get my own fans. Like it's all him. And I wanted to tell you guys, if nobody has, that I appreciate that you've never taken credit for other people's work.
Well, yeah. I mean, I take credit for all my sons, like good behavior. I know my wife normally is the person behind that, but I take credit for that. But that's different. That's different. No, wait. So did they have anything to do with the project?
No, not at all. Nor did I even, especially on like I look back.
So, you didn't even know this person.
No, I know this person. This person has a reputation. He has a Facebook group, but he messaged them to be insulting that we were on it because we were talking about there's a lot of drama in comics, and we were kind of. I started looking at all the.
Surely.
Sorry. Continue. Sorry.
You guys didn't know. I'm sorry.
We're new with this. I'm sorry.
And this person sent a private message taking credit for a whole bunch of stuff, which is ridiculous. And I had to come here and tell you guys how much I appreciate how that's just insane that someone would even think that because they run a YouTube channel or a Facebook group. It's ridiculous the egos that some people have.
Well, the problem with Daphne and myself is we don't take all the credit for everything we have done.
Right.
That's the thing, because we've been doing this for so long. Half of the time we don't even remember.
I genuinely think social media has driven half the planet crazy.
I swear, everyone has brainworms. Really?
I was watching a critique by Cartoon Kayfabe about a month or so ago, and I'm like, I didn't have anything to do with that, did I? And then they showed the contents, and I had lettered a story, and I'm like, please don't mention the lettering. Please don't mention that.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's how I felt when you guys were talking about Demon Beast Invasion. I literally don't remember. I had to remind myself that I designed like the logo, that I did the lettering. Actually, it was JD that reminded me. Yeah, Daphne did the lettering. It's like, oh, don't talk about the lettering.
Yeah.
That's the same thing. Don't talk about the lettering.
Well, the bear stuff. Yeah, because it's funny. I never would have realized that was your logo or your design work on that logo, Daphne, until JD mentioned it. Now I can't even see it.
Bear.
Right. Yeah. No. It's the meeting that I was in for that logo. I mean, it was the stupidest shit ever. They thought they were being hysterical.
In comics? Are you being sarcastic?
I wouldn't. I don't know if I would even consider the people I was working with comic book people, to tell you the truth. I mean, the whole thing was just,
Daphne,
and it's
that's bigoted.
Well, yeah, considering that the woman ruined our job with Pioneer on Tenchi Muyo because she ran off with like 60 grand of Pioneer's money. And they canceled they canceled our title because of that. So yeah, fuck her.
That's a lot of pina coladas.
60 grand. 60 grand.
Yeah, it was something. It was something like that. But she like just completely disappeared with Pioneer's money, and we were left going,
And how long ago was that?
Oh, years ago. I mean, we can literally say decades.
Hey, look, 60 grand is I hunt you down money. 60 grand is I got to hunt you down money.
Well, that was not for Pioneer. Instead, they just looked at us and they go, "Oh, you're done."
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Look, I let a lot of. I don't freak out when it comes to money. I don't. I don't. I mean, if I did, you guys would have seen. You seen that bill I got last week.
Right.
You guys
I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
I posted a bill you were freaking out on yesterday. Last
well,
week.
that was a little high, but I don't know if now in a similar. Randy had an editor a proofreader go through and name himself as there it is.
There it is.
Yeah.
These are the originals.
Oh shit.
I think I've seen that like on an advertisement back in the day. Like,
yeah, you probably
That's cool.
did. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And I've gotten one of those books so I can have JD sign it because JD got a chance to write the Blue Girl and Tenchi Muyo, wasn't it?
Yeah, Tenchi Muyo and Demon Beast Invasion. And put respect on Demon Beast Invasion because we almost sent a retailer to prison for it.
Yeah. That's if you haven't checked out the CBO.
Yeah, if you go to the Comic Book Legal Defense Fund page and look up Texas versus Castillo, that's us.
Yeah. The prison. But Randy
is legit.
Jake says 60K. That's a lot of wine and budget.
Yeah. There's a lot of gossip behind that woman. So,
but I do think that
Russ is mad because it's his language and we ruined it.
Yeah. None of you should be allowed to speak it. Damn colonials and Northern Europeans. You're all the same.
Yeah, it was like either 40 grand or 60. I don't remember, but like I said, it's like it was our budget to do Tenchi Muyo, and Pioneer had wanted us to do like another 24 issues of that. And and she ran off with the she ran off to India with the money, and Pioneer looked at us and said, "Oops, that sucks to be you."
Yeah. Off to India with the money. Wow, I guess you can maybe. Yeah.
That's what I hate about comics. As I started reviewing all the drama over the years, I realized that the majority, and it doesn't matter how small or how big you are, when the drama happens, it's always between them, and no one goes, "Hey, what should we do for the fans? What's the best for the fans?" It's always about egos and fighting and BS, and it's never what's best for the fans. And that's one of the things when you guys were talking earlier. When you guys do put someone to task, it's normally for the fans. Like when you go like, "Hey, you sent out shitty, messed up stuff and charged a lot of shipping. Let's talk about that." Like it's not you don't normally get involved with the beefs. It's, "Hey, where did you do wrong by the fans? Let's figure out what that is." You know,
you would think that would be logical. Like
right.
if I sent out the a book. And it, for some reason, it ends up on your end looking like UPS ran it through a wood chipper. I mean, I'm not going to say that, that's UPS's problem. I'm going to send you a new book and call it a day. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I don't understand why people make it a big deal.
The only way to get repeat custom.
Yeah, so.
When Glenn Fleming says, having been there, I can think of at least 17,000 places to go. Rather than India.
I had an uncle who worked for a company that sent him to India for like 3 months, and he came back and he told his boss, "If you ever send me there again, I'm going to quit this job on the spot."
I was gonna say that
and now all our radio numbers in India are going to disappear.
Probably just drop through the floor.
I was gonna say that when you have when it comes to traveling, and no one's been able to do a lot of it recently, but I think that when you go to different countries, and I've only gone to I've only been to Canada, so when it comes to other countries, but
doesn't really count, does it?
Yeah. When I go to
like once your neighbors, I mean, it's like
did they allow you to cross that lake? Like in Michigan, you have to go across the lake and sneak in the border.
No,
not right now.
Isn't Canada just America with lower buildings?
Something like that. Yeah.
All the Canadians are gonna give me a hard time now. I'm joking, guys.
Canadian numbers are now dropping.
Right, exactly. Where we figure we'll offend. We'll probably offend everybody by the time the show's up.
Just blame it on the Regency.
I remember telling a friend of mine. I said, "I'm going to London for the weekend." And he was like, "Dude, what? That's fancy as hell. London? I'm in London, Canada, not
London, Ontario."
London, Ontario.
London in the UK is not fancy.
It's only an hour and a half away. Yeah,
I have. Yeah, no. I mean, it's because I have family that live in Spain, and what's really and watching my uncle going, it's like, "Oh yeah, we're going to France for the weekend. Oh, we're going to Germany," and it's like, "Oh, we're just driving." It's like here, it's like there they drive for 3 hours. And it's like, yeah, and you're in France or whatnot. Here you drive for 3 hours. It's like, "Oh, we're in Jersey."
Well, Varian and I have been talking about doing a road trip to Wakanda.
Right.
Yeah, Wakanda, Wisconsin. I drove through it. I Facebook checked myself into Wakanda, and I said, "There's a lot more people here than I thought." I don't feel exotic. I feel exotic. They're looking at me like I just want to walk. It's very. I probably shouldn't have at the gas station doing this to everybody.
Nothing like feeling exotic.
So you got. So anyway, you got your Travis. You got your book, Voodoo Nations 2.
Yeah, Voodoo Nations 2's live. We can talk about it if you want, but I really just kind of wanted to hang out, and I've been self-reflecting a lot, and I'm really appreciating just a lot of the nonsense, especially since I'm not involved in any of it, which is nice. That's new.
We call it buffoonery.
It's kind of fun, and I just was like, you know what? I don't think I appreciate stuff. And one of the things I actually wanted to say on here too, can you go to Kick Track and look up Jolly Jane?
Kick Track, and
I'll explain why in a minute.
Okay, let's see here.
Never heard of that.
While you're doing that, Marv says, I have to say this. I saw a video saying that comics are dead. They talked about Marvel and DC. What's wrong with these mainstream YouTubers? There's more than that. And manga isn't comics? Jerks.
Roll the clip.
Hang on. We got somebody tuning in on that thought. Hang on.
What the fuck is the matter with people in this business?
That was it.
No, but it's like because that's what when they hear comics, they only think of Marvel and DC. They don't think the rest of us.
Oh, it's just it's all over.
Typical.
That's
It's
something
typical.
that we're running into constantly.
Yeah, I mean, if that's why I stopped mentioning, like, I stopped telling like regular people. It's like, oh, I usually say I'm a graphic designer because if I say I draw comics, they go, oh, which one? It's like, what do you mean? Fucking which one?
Like you'd know.
It's like, but
I buy that title regularly.
Right.
Oh,
it's like, yeah,
really?
I'm drawing Wolverine, sure.
Right. Yeah. Okay,
I literally had that discussion with my dentist yesterday, where I was explaining.
It went along the lines of,
yeah. No, it was after that. It was after that about how there's so many different kinds of comics, and because he was asking me as kid was reading a book called Death Note and asked me if I'd ever heard of it. I said that must be a manga.
Oh, that's one of those mangoes.
Yeah. One of them mango books. Yeah.
Mango.
I hate those mango books.
Yeah.
I said, you catch him reading from back to front, didn't you? Yeah.
Travis, I can already see why you're pulling this one up.
Yeah, let's go to the daily data.
Yeah.
Let's see.
That is right here.
The second spot. So here's what I'm saying. See the big push at the 10,000?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But here's what I want to say. This someone once told me, why go on IndieVolt? They claim they have all these big radio personalities. Why aren't we getting huge numbers of backers? And I wanted to show you this. So this is by Russ Rollins. Russ Rollins is literally the top guy who does talk radio in Florida. He broadcasts all throughout Florida, which is way more than Randy and Varian goes. And he needed someone to donate 10 grand to get his stuff funded.
So that bump is one person.
That's one person. Yeah. Well, it's three people, but it's 10 grand.
Yeah, but he got like friends or something. That doesn't quite count.
That.
Yeah.
So just because someone's listening, and I really wanted to point this out because they like to point crap and take credit for stuff, it doesn't translate like that. This guy's have way more listeners, and he struggled to fund. He was 10,000 short. 10, that's a big number, and he has way more listeners than you guys have on a regular basis, and he had to call a friend.
Right.
So it's not about that. It's it's about what resonates with people. And I wanted to say that just because I've heard that a lot. People talking crap. So I wanted to come up publicly going, here is someone who has more listeners who couldn't get it done.
I tell people this, my numbers are low when you consider the fact that I was listening to a radio show the other day, and the guy was like, "No pressure, but we got 8 million people. 8 people. They're waiting for the guy to rap, and he had the freestyle. He says 8 million people listening. No pressure. 8 million people listening, and it's like, shit. I don't know how I would react. 8 million people listening. Yeah. So when I see 76, 88, 90,000 globally, that's a drop in the bucket. That's a small drop in the bucket.
The way marketing works, right? Because it's like, if you can get 2% of your audience to even be engaged in what you're doing, that's considered successful.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like you can have like I was reading an article about marketing on YouTube, and just because it's like that's why you can have 1 million subscribers and not have it mean anything. Right. Because if you have 1 million subscribers, maybe, I mean, then again, it's like maybe you'll have like 30,000 people who are actually watching your channel.
Exactly.
And then it's like the fractions break down from there as to who's actually being engaged and buying your products. It's like, yeah, so it's like you would have 1 million subscribers and maybe you'll have 2,000 people who actually support you financially.
But it's all about scale at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Pop says, have you ever watched BrEaKfAsT's show? He has an actual bump during his show. Backer count goes up.
We've had books.
Yeah. It's a numbers game.
You just never know who's listening.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, I think we have some shows now. Well, we have one show now, Backer Shots, that's aimed at, hey, let's get this book over a certain amount. Last week, they started with Mike Watson's book at what, 33,000 something, got it to 4.
Yeah,
got the $4,000 on Backer Shots, which was crazy. But you know, it's like, you know, it's a live show. They're watching.
Thousands of dollars sometimes. Yeah.
I have a list of shows that I go to that I know that I'm going to get a certain amount of backers every time I go on. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is stop taking credit or stop assuming that because your group has 2,000 people, your share is going to get 2,000 people looking at that campaign, and that's going to get them X amount of dollars.
Right. That's convention. That's convention math. That's when you go to a convention. It's like, oh, there's like 10,000 people here. If we just get everybody to spend $1, we'll come out with $10,000. And it's like, no, that's not how it works. And also, conversely, just because a show has very few subscribers or listeners doesn't mean they're not engaged. I have friends who have been told that, oh, your show's not big enough, but they have an engaged audience. So it's like, okay, so it's like, you know, because which is more important, having a 10,000 subscriber channel that maybe only 2 people will support your campaign, or going on a show with 200 subscribers and half of them will support your campaign. You don't know. You don't know.
Hey, Pops, just in case you weren't aware, not everything's about you. I know this is very confusing to you, and it may take a little time to figure it out, but not everything's about you, big guy.
Well, I would wonder though, like 3 people, isn't that like? It's funny. I just learned how to read these charts. Just like looking at this chart, I'm like, so 3 people submit that $10,000.
That's curious retention, not attention.
Exactly.
Well, and I wanted you to have this just in case everyone comes, because you guys have the listener base, the radio, where most YouTube don't. I wanted you to have this to show, you know, exactly, you know, that it doesn't translate like that.
Right.
And I think this is a good comparison because this is the biggest market in Florida, and he couldn't do it with his book, with Randy Kaufman, who actually does comics a lot. He's done comics for years in the Southern area. So,
but also too, that's also not indicative of the quality of the work either.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
I mean, just because something fails to fund doesn't mean that, you know, oh, something's wrong with the work. Right, it just means that you didn't reach the right audience for it. You know, and if you have to ask friends to bail you out, that's kind of you definitely didn't reach your audience.
I think like with me, you know, again, like Randy and I used to, I remember Randy telling me, he says, you know, our numbers have to be wrong. And then we started getting these weird like requests.
They weren't weird. They were awesome.
Well, no,
getting requests from everywhere. Well, but I'm like, dude, what? This got to be some spam. And then you go over and you check their site, and it's all this comic art on it, and you go, oh, you're listening to Indie Volt Radio. That's awesome.
And I would reach out and I'd ask sometimes I say, where'd you find me? And not to be a douche, because I mean, I went through, like, there was somebody I friended once, and the guy gave me basically a test before I could friend him. He's like, where do I know you from? Who are you? You like comics?
Well, not for nothing.
You know, there's some thought behind that.
At the time, I was low taking taken aback by it. I'm like, what? Why are you? But then, ever since then, he's been cool. He just wanted to make sure that I wasn't, I guess, a troll. But, and the only reason I friended him is because, honestly, I thought he was someone else. He had the last name of a friend of mine. I thought they
So
were
it was
related.
a hot mess all
Yeah.
around.
But I mean, he turned out to be a cool guy. But he's, but, we started getting these requests and they came from everywhere, and I would message them like, "Hey, how'd you find me?" And they would, I listened to, Indie. I found out the Indie Vote Radio app, and it was suggested to me, and I listened to it. And the other thing is, people sometimes get Indie Vote Radio because it's unedited and they can hear music that they normally couldn't hear, and
it's music they're not hearing all the time either.
Yeah. That's a big thing. We try to do something a little bit different on there, but it is not. It's sometimes not economical. Like me and Randy, about a year ago now, Randy, the bandwidth was up so damn high, I had to scale back on shows.
Oh yeah, you were freaking.
Yeah, because it was about to cross. It looked like we were getting dangerously close to crossing not just 1,000, not 100,000 listeners, but which is again dropping the bucket when you think in the larger scheme of things. But it was
not for your wallet.
That's crazy though. The fact that you got concerned that you were too successful.
Oh yeah,
no, that's not the problem. It's the
oh no! But the fact that with that
there's a big
success comes with a higher bandwidth.
Oh yeah. They're about to charge
that wasn't really success.
Yeah,
it was. It was
excess.
The thing is, here's the thing: you can't. They lock you in. The way it works is that they lock you in. So, imagine having it where you can have up to this amount of space. Right. But you have to prepay for it, and you have to prepay for this bandwidth every month. So if you plan to go over, you better pay for it now because
that's a lot of planning.
Yeah, because you can't do it when there's no add-on, there's no a la carte. Like, oh, you need more bandwidth? Here, we'll throw you some extra bandwidth for $30 extra. No, you're gonna go over, and we're gonna charge you $75 for every 10 megabytes you go over.
Well, and then the worst part about it is knowing that bandwidth is fake.
Yeah.
It's a kind of like, remember how we don't have long distance, domestic long distance calling anymore because that shit's all fake.
Yep.
Yeah. So
they made it up.
Yeah.
They made up a unit of measurement and said, well, just go with this. And so now if at the end of the month, now I pay for more than what I need, but now I'm throwing money away because I don't cross that level, but now I pay money. But just in case I do, at least I know I'm taken care of.
Well, but I mean, it's the fact that you have to think about it in advance because you don't know.
Yeah.
But the thing is though, don't you have couldn't you base it on trends that it's okay, so I know, this is where I've fallen so that you don't have to pay for so much extra?
I kind of have, but it's just you can only pay one time a month.
Right.
At the beginning of your new, your new 30 days, you pay. So you have to, because you can't do it before then. So when I noticed that we were inching ever so closely to 100,000 listeners, I had to basically set it up to where I was good for, I think 175,000 listeners.
It's standard corporate predatory practice.
Really?
It just happens all the time.
Because it's obvious that they set it up in a way that you can't economize no matter what you do. Even if you try to economize, they have it set up so that you can't.
It's like they want you to screw up so that they can tax you, whatever.
Yeah.
They are. I've tried to make it so where because I do enjoy having the radio. I do enjoy having the Indie Vote TV. By the way, Indie Vote TV is actually not the radio. The radio costs more than TV to produce every month.
That's funny. That's weird.
Yeah.
But the audience for radio is way higher also.
True. Our Indie Vote TV has 12,000 cumulative installs. I think of which 10,000 of them are currently active. So
I remember one day you went through when you had that big thing, you were trying to figure out which ones are, because sometimes you feel like they're faking you, right? They're throwing numbers on there. You're like, all right, so how do I weed off these bots so I can, get my bandwidth down. I remember you trying to figure that out that day. And there's no solution to that. That's just kind of the nature of the game, right?
Yeah, you just kind of deal with it and know that they're gonna be there. We have with Indie Vote TV, I look at the watch hours, and that's the other thing too. Right. And I tell people this all the time. When you have a YouTube channel, look at the hours, look at your watch hours. Our subs are, we got decent subs, but our watch hours are really impressive. People are watching.
That's what counts on the algorithm, because YouTube keeps saying subscriber count doesn't mean anything. It's the watch hours. But you also got to remember watch hours affects the advertising. That's their real, real interest, not whether you get subscribers.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'll share it with you guys right here.
Well, they want you to go. YouTube wants you to go short and sweet, so they can come and go to the beginning and middle ad, and that's why the people who do those things tend to do a little better if they have like the 3-minute little reviews and stuff like that, as well as the live shows. It tends to do better.
So there it is. Indie Vote Radio. Indie Vote YouTube hours. 3,874 public watch hours of 4,000 required. Now every day they only keep them for a year. So every day we actually lose watch hours because we've been online longer than a year. So every day you're gonna lose. Some hours are going to become not valid. So that's why it helps to make new content as much as you can. But we're all, we're basically at 4,000 watch hours, which I'm proud of that. Because we've grown this channel. I know a lot of you guys watch it and rewatch it. So when someone tells me, "Hey, I'll watch later," we really do appreciate it, because it, that's why, because this stuff, and that's why we try to do the videos too and keep stuff evergreen. I always ask people, "Hey, make sure you put up your content, and make sure you have a store where people can reach you, because these videos are evergreen. Someone's going to come across this video maybe 2 months from now, 3 months from now,
maybe 2 years from now."
Yeah.
Random question for you guys. I see the Arrow 4.0 and the Varian Grant channels. Should I be subbed to those as well? Those actually used?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not as much, but they are.
Sure. Yeah. No, I'll sub to because I was looking at the Indie Volted. They all came there. And Daphne, look at that. She's just at the end.
Yeah. Varian Grant is just, I just go in there when I want to do some drawing, or when I want to say something that I can't say on Indie Vote. Because
the Zim channel was the Arrow Comics 4.0
channel.
Arrow
Comics,
used to be my personal channel, but all the videos I've been doing lately have been for Arrow Comics, so I just switched the name.
New launch. Okay.
By the way, guys, if you are looking, I gotta mention this. 2 things. If you're looking to get your, you need to get Gemini mailers, because when you ship books, if they come messed up, you're gonna be sorry. So Gemini Mailer is a sponsor of Indie Vote, and they have given us a code that you can use to save some money for Gemini mailers. Volt10, VOLT10, Volt10. Use that code. Save yourself 10% off your Gemini mailers directly from GeminiComicSupply.com. Saving 10% could help, because shipping costs are fluctuating all the time. So I might save some money on what you're shipping them in, and there's nothing better to ship them in than Gemini mailers.
It basically takes care, because I've used that code several times. It basically takes care of the tax every time.
Yeah, every little bit helps. Yeah,
you have a 10% sales tax in Florida. Holy crap!
It's because it's a tax and then like an extra couple of bucks, not just fully tax. I think it's like 7% wherever Gemini is. So it's 7%.
In New York, I think we're at 8.7. I think.
Yeah.
Critical Bass is almost everybody.
16.
Almost everybody gets the hours and then waits on the subs. I got all the subs early, and it took me forever to get the watch hours.
Yeah, the watch hours are tough. The watch hours are tough.
Yeah. I think it helps that we run a 2-hour show. That might actually help.
Well, not just that, but go ahead.
No, because that's what YouTube prefers. They either want really, really short videos or really, really long ones.
Yeah.
If you do anything in between, they're not crazy about that, because they can't fit in. And even if you're demonetized or you're not monetized, they still run ads on your show.
Yeah.
You're just not getting a cut of it. So so they still need you to do optimum content for them so they can fit in the advertising.
All the more reason for folks, if you're listening to us, however you're listening to us, go over to YouTube, subscribe to the Indie Vote channel, because every subscriber counts. Once we pass that 1,000 mark, we can actually file for monetization.
Right.
Then you can send us super chats and help pay for the bandwidth.
Also, if you really want to support the show and get those watch hours up, you don't even have to listen to it. Just run because I do it all the time. Just run the videos in the background with the sound off, because that's the algorithm doesn't care if you're really watching it or not. It's not Black Mirror where it's following your eyes. It's like they're it's like it just all it sees is that the video is running and that you're continuously watching it, especially if you have like the auto play for the next video. So do that. Just go play all. Go to IndieVault, do play all, and let it run through all the videos. That'll help with the watch time.
Now I can't do it because Google will figure it out, but everyone else can.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, even if like we've gotten a lot of stuff organically. I remember I know someone who bought subs. And they bought subs and. They ended up having like 700 subs, and they're like, "Look, I'm gonna reach 1,000," and then by that Friday they had 200 subs, and it's because YouTube goes back and they delete those accounts, and then they'll also like those accounts also drop out too. Then the other thing too is what I like about YouTube is I know people are usually watching, because Facebook counts. I think it's 3 seconds as a view.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
3 seconds as a view.
Sometimes it takes longer than that to scroll out of your timeline.
Yeah, so it counts as a view, and it gives you that nice endorphin. And oh, look, this many people watched, but YouTube numbers, at least someone actually sat and watched. I think it's 5 minutes. I think there's a setup on a.
That's also another reason to do longer videos, because nothing was more frustrating for me than looking at my view counts and seeing like the average view on all my videos was like 1.5 minutes. And it's like, but that's like the average view count. And then it's like I would go look in, and then I would try to figure out where is it that people are dropping out. It's like, really, you guys aren't even hitting the intro and you're dropping. I mean, and it messes with your head too.
I mess with Larry about that, because his intros are 10 minutes long. It's like, will you get to the content, please, sir? I mess with them about it constantly, but I mess with everybody about their live streams, and then here I am with
Well, do you guys want to know a secret? I'll tell you guys. Do you guys know what Prancer size is?
What?
Prancer size, the
Prancer
old
size?
viral video. Yeah, it was a lady.
Yes.
She's a client of mine, so I had to help monetize her and get all that stuff. She's crazy as heck, by the way, just as crazy as all the videos and stuff. She's out of her mind. But you'd be surprised. Once you get to that certain level and you make money and you stop making money, like how it messes with your head.
Oh yeah,
like it drove her crazy. She was trying to sue. What's that guy? He's like an enlightening guy. He's like a guru, but he makes fun of everything. He's got the long red hair and the ponytail.
Not me. Not me.
You know what I'm talking about? I think Varian does.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't.
He has like a little dong, and then he says like enlightenment. He pretends he's like a yoga guy.
Yeah, I can't make his name.
Yeah. Anyway, that guy made Prancer size video, and then he tripled her videos. Like he boosted up her stuff, and she like filed this whole lawsuit. And I was like, literally, you hadn't made money in like 2 years, and you started making money because he made fun of you. Like, stop. Yeah, same thing with Tosh.0 made fun of her. Like she got so mad that Tosh was like, just come on the show. Like, and I tell you this, just like the danger of these things, of getting there. She was like, I need to buy views. I need to do that. I was like, no, if you just let it be its thing, it'll continue to give you good fruit. But if you decide to force it, it's going to do is backlash and make you mad.
Right.
Yeah. I liken that to a friend of mine. We both got jobs at General Motors at the same time.
Right.
And he was, just a kid. He didn't have anything going on. And he went from literally having zero in his pocket to making $32 an hour.
Right.
And he got used to that for 2 years. And then we got laid off.
Yeah,
and
that's rough. That's always rough, no matter what.
When we got laid off, he couldn't take it. Within 2 weeks, he was on his way to jail because he tried to get some money from someone. You know, it's like, so you sometimes like you get the success, you get used to it, and then they take it away from you.
It's called lifestyle inflation.
Yeah,
and it's an actual term, and that's what that means when you get when your lifestyle matches the increases in your salary, and then it's like when you hit, you know, when your salary hits that bump or goes down, it's like your lifestyle can't keep up with it.
Don't spend everything you got.
Yeah, for real. You know,
which is why I think my wife likes for us to live as poor as possible.
Well, isn't, you know, have you guys noticed at the beginning of this year, so many musicians are selling their whole catalog? Like, it's because it's crazy to me. I was like, 1 year off the road and you guys can't handle it. You need to sell everything. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy to me when I look at that. But it's like you said, like, I don't understand their expenses. Like, I don't understand how much they spend to keep everything working, right?
Oh my God, I've got to go economy class.
Right. Yeah, exactly. But that's what it is. You know, I mean, it's like me, it's like, you know, I learned very early on. I mean, you know, like, you know, Dave Ramsey style, you know, it's like you live, you know, way below your means so that, you know, like if you can't, it's like, what is it that he would say? Like, if you can't live on 90%, you know, you can't. There's a percentage thing that he said. I have to look it up. That pretty much he said that it's like that if you can't live below your means, you're going to be in big trouble if something happens. You know?
I remember when I was younger going to my dad and asking him. I said, "Dad,
lifestyle creep is real, yo."
Exactly. Yeah.
I said, "Dad, are we rich?" And he looked at me. And he looked at me. I'll never forget. He looked at me and said, "You don't have a job." That's what he looked at me. And he's like, "So we are not rich. You definitely ain't rich. I don't care what you think. You don't have a job. You are 8 years old. You're not rich at all." And I'm
but
like,
the thing is, though, but that's also how you have like actual rich people saying that they're not rich because, like, well, do you know how expensive it is to afford a $32 million yacht? You know?
Yes,
please.
It's
like, bitch, please.
He didn't answer my question. Not we're rich or not, though. He didn't answer my question.
Because the definition is amorphous. You know.
Don't know. You haven't got a royal family. Shut up. You don't know what it's like.
You know. It's like you don't. You know. It's like we have friends that it's like that they don't consider themselves. They're to us they're wealthy, but they don't consider themselves wealthy because they have all their kids in private school.
Oh, it's so hard. Yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, and it's like, and they have like 4 houses to maintain. And it's like, it's like life is so difficult. It's not as easy as you think.
Yeah.
You know, meanwhile, it's, you know, we're looking at them going, okay, whatever.
I got 9.
I just want to get Dunkin'. That's it. Like, that's my extent of what I need. Like,
and, you know, by the way, they have to add donuts back to the name. I understand they do more than donuts.
Have you eaten the donuts? They're not that great.
It's all congealed oils and stuff. You know,
it's about time for us to get out of here.
Right.
But, we're past our 2-hour mark. I'm gonna let Russ. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
I'm gonna let Mr. Russ start by saying goodbye first and where he can be found.
Goodbye. That's it. You can find me on YouTube as Comic Book Black Belt. Please come sub to my channel. It'd be really nice. I'm on about 720 at the moment, somewhere around there. Always helpful. Thank you very much. And you can see me draw more of this stuff. Only Death Can Save Us, and also Outliers for Joe Fulton. I do a Monday night stream. It's a Monday evening in the States. So I'll do some live artwork then. You can also catch me on Fultonland on a Thursday morning in the States, Thursday evening in the UK. I hang around Indie Vault occasionally, and also over with Sim and Sugar. And you can find out more about me at russleach.com, at comicbookblackbelt.com. You can find out about the book Only Death Can Save Us at onlydeathcansavus.com. It's still currently in demand. There is a link on the website, and there will always be a link for you to find live saleable product. You can also get me on the YouTubes, on the social medias, on the Twitter, on the Facebook. Come say hello. I will always speak about comic book art. And you can also see me produce work for Arrow Comics. Only Death Can Save Us will be out in August via themselves. I think that's about it.
All right. And next is Mr. Jimmy, Mike Jimmy.
I'm Mike Jimmy of Fairies and Ents. You can find me on fairiesandents.com with Fairies with AE. You can find me on Indiegogo right now for Live on Korra 4 Inner Talents, which will launch tomorrow. You can find me on Twitter at @and_ents. I'm on Facebook as Mike Jimmy Lorcia de Bruin. And yeah, hit me up. Send me a friend request. I'm always in for new friends, talk random shit. So yeah, look me up.
And Travis.
Hello, I am Travis Gibb. I am a comic creator. You can find me currently. I would like you to find me on Kickstarter for Voodoo Nations 1 and 2. Though I made fun of Luke earlier, Luke is actually very talented. In fact, I think this is Luke's best work. Don't tell his boss, Randy Zimmerman. He did some amazing stuff in this book. The set pieces for New Orleans is just gorgeous. It's a great book. We only got 4 days left, so if you want to check it out, I'd appreciate it. We're trying to beat our numbers from last time. You can find me at Travis Gibb on Facebook, Jester Lou on Twitter and Instagram, and BrokeDownAndFourDeadBodies.com is a great place to find me. Thank you.
Thank you. And before we go to Daphne, Lola's walked into my office here. Lola, you missed it. Daphne showed leg and feet.
Really?
Yeah. On breakfast bug.
I even shaved.
Daphne leg. We're gonna call it Daphne leg.
Yeah, Daphne leg.
Daphne leg.
And this is why we need 1,000 subs, because we would have mad cash today.
Right, we could have. Yeah, y'all missed it.
Isn't that supposed to be saved for Geekasm? Yeah. She'll have a meeting with you about this now.
Right, okay, sure. It's okay.
The super chats we'd have gathered alone from YouTube would have made them very happy.
Right.
We'll skip the Hobbit cam. Don't worry.
Yeah, go ahead, Daphne. Let us know where you can find.
Well, okay, you can not find more feed pic from me at eagleworks.com, my main portfolio site. Yeah, right, exactly. Or you can find links to all of my galleries and social media sites, but I mostly post to Facebook if you are into seeing sketches and current work in progress, actual artwork. You can also check out my YouTube for kind of sort of weekly art live streams, mostly on Wednesdays. And you can also read the first 5 issues of Eagle Raven, Heir of the First Unicorn, in its original black and white format. But if you prefer your fantasy to be more of a Lord of the Rings adventure, you can follow the link to Tall Tales online, TAILS, and read the first 20 issues of Tall Tales for free. And while you're there, don't forget to sign up for a monthly newsletter, because I have hella campaigns coming up and you don't want to miss anything. So there you go.
Lots of stuff. I've decided there's a Dreamweaver and Ego Works budget that I have to set aside every month.
Oh,
you guys run a lot of campaigns. It's like they tag team. Like, you got this month.
Yeah, really. That's how it feels like, because it's like already. It's like we're. That reminds me. I have to look over JD's next campaign.
Yeah, it's a rare moment where I don't think either of you are running the campaign right now, right?
No, it's like I personally am not running a campaign right now, but I am fulfilling 2 campaigns.
So somebody's rocking right now, like, because Lola said that after she finished her campaign, she's like, "I need to launch another one." I'm like, no,
fulfill first. First.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah.
You got to pin up on Nightwolf. You're still live. You're fine.
Yeah. Well, it's like I have a pin up in the trade the trade, but there was an exclusive pin up that my campaign needed to have been live to get. Right. So
I think Nightwolf closed today, didn't it? Last night. Yeah, Nightwolf. Yeah,
oh, never mind.
Yeah. Mr. Zimmerman.
But the books are on. You can still purchase the book separately outside of the campaign. So,
Mr. Zim, where can you be found at, sir?
I'm Randy Zimmerman. You can find me on Facebook under Randy Zimmerman. You can find me under Twitter under Randy Zim. But more importantly, you can find Arrow Comics 4.0 as on the link tree. You can find us on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube. Please go over there and like all of those and subscribe, and I'll be on the lookout for more information on the great products that we've got coming out over the next upcoming months. And the one thing I wanted to correct Travis on is I'm not really Luke's boss. Arrow Comics is a creator-owned publishing company. I'm just his publisher, just like I'm not Russ's boss either. Russ has been doing some phenomenal work. Only Death Can Save Us #1 is already winging its way to the printer, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. And that'll be available in August through Liberty Distribution. It's going to be a really incredible book, and it's bi-monthly for a reason, so that Russ can breathe between issues and hopefully have our clientele discover how great a book that actually is. We have a lot more announcements coming up, like I said, and right now I'm working on getting the print file for the Revolt book that we closed the campaign on probably 3 or 4 weeks ago to the printer now, as all of the stories are in. It's going to be 140 pages of black and white short stories. It's going to be really great to see. I'm sorry nobody else can buy in at the moment, because the product's really going to be nice. You're going to be, if you didn't buy in, you're going to be very sorry that you didn't. There's a lot of great stories in there, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're also going to be bringing Revolt out as a monthly title available for the direct market as well. That'll also still be in black and white and in 32 pages, smaller chunks. That also is going to be a fun book and eventually we'll be carrying themes in. I really want it to be like an alternative comics version of Heavy Metal when it's all done. So looking forward to getting that out.
I'm working on a story for the October issue right now.
Me too.
Yeah.
I wanted Randy to be my boss. Now he's not going to be my boss. I'm not interested in that.
I'm not your boss.
I wanted
You're not the
Randy
boss
to yell
of
at
me.
not only on the internet when I disagree with him, but
I'm not the
also
boss
in my
of you.
email.
Yeah,
I'm not the boss of you.
when Randy was when Randy had Flint Comics, and he would he was technically the boss because he was the editor-in-chief of Flint Comics, and he would ask me for my strips, and I was like, okay, and I would send them over, and that was like the closest he's been to a boss. But that was he used to, it was only one time
putting a project together too. So
the only time where the boss said, hey, the only one time where he told me I couldn't run something, which is cool because he was right. He was right. Strip was too. Well, it wasn't kid friendly.
Yeah. The paper was available for everybody. So, and I've already dealt with a couple of angry mobs in the past with the content that was in the book. So, it's just don't want to go there, and it's not that kind of hill you want to do a battle on.
And of course, guys, you can find me KYD_V over on Twitter. My name is Varian Grant. Everywhere else, it's easy to find me. I'm not hard to find on social media. Come talk to me about comic books and all kinds of other stuff. I may answer until I get medicated, and then I won't. Also, keep your eyes.
Or worse, he will.
I will. Yeah.
Or he really will.
Yeah. Also, keep your eyes open. We got some updates for Indie Vote Surge magazine coming very soon. Tomorrow night on Indie Vote, I think it's 7 p.m. We're gonna have a closeout party. We're gonna close out Lumina Vox. Help them close out their campaign, and then also Saturday night?
When's Raging on then? Raging's on tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I think they're on.
Yes, Raging is on with me.
Yeah,
with Mike Jimmy.
Yeah. They're on with Mike Jimmy, and then
as he starts his campaign.
I think Mike Jimmy may well be omnipresent.
Right.
Yeah, I think he's everywhere.
Yeah, he's everywhere. Yeah,
he does it.
It's the beard.
Yeah.
The beard and the long red hair.
Yeah, it's just you dye it. It's not white. You just
the only thing that red hair and that beard will get you, Jimmy, is Recast by Denzel Washington in your biopic. So you think about that for a minute. Think about that. Doesn't take everybody a couple days to hit that. Like, oh, I get it.
Grenade humor, always
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
You get a lot of pauses right now while people Google trying to figure it out.
Right, yeah, exactly.
And
I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't care.
Common
there are no
sight for
redheads
me.
in movies. There's no redheads in movies. You'll see. If you're a redhead character, you get replaced by a black person. It happens all the time.
Jake says you're not the boss
Well,
of
if
me
you're
now.
if you're an Asian actor, you get replaced by Scarlett Johansson.
Oh yeah. Right.
So there you go.
Remember, guys. Liberty and Terror Distribution. I'll let Belle tell you. Here we go. Come on, Belle. Oh, she's not saying it there. Oh, that's why it may help if I click the video.
Luke
right?
is not speaking.
Yeah. Here we go.
Hey, it's Belle from Liberty Entertainment Distribution.
Hi,
We've
Belle.
got quality indie comics in hand ready to ship to you now. Yes, really. And it gets better. At Liberty, publishers set their own wholesale pricing, and we don't take any fees, so don't wait. Call or visit me today at ledg.us or call 1-800-525-2091.
So yeah, give a Belle a call. Also, remember, check out. We didn't do this today, by the way.
Belle needs to turn her volume up.
Yeah, next time I
Speaking,
record,
yeah.
next time I
Never
record it, I'll do it. We didn't get to run this either, which is upsetting.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, we didn't get to,
Hashtag.
yeah. We didn't get to run the hashtag Daphne. And so we got the Surge magazine coming. We got the Indie Volt energy drink now available. Buzzberry. I'm not gonna play the video, don't worry. And check that out. And then that's pretty much it here for us. Backer shots Saturday night at 9 p.m. They'll be, ladies will be drinking every time they get a backing on a product. They take a shot. So
they invited me to that, but my book literally has a very bad alcoholic, and it's about him recovering. I was like, probably not the best content-wise.
You know what? It's. I've told them that that show is probably the reason why Sunday mornings is so hazy. You notice since the show started,
that's true.
I can't seem to make Sunday funnies. Since that show started, it's like.
And you've been backing a lot more things lately on Kickstarter. I've noticed because I follow you on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Is someone drunk shopping?
Yeah.
Trouble.
Yeah. Is Luke on this week? Yeah, so Luke is on, so you'll still be represented somehow.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apparently, Buddha Nations is on that show this week.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. But
Yeah. Luke's like, gotta make the money.
Yeah, exactly.
Luke and I actually, because we have different audiences, we actually divide and conquer. I do different shows.
There
He
you
does different
go.
shows.
Yeah.
We don't even communicate unless there's a couple we do together, but it's better that way because we're targeting hitting we need to have instead of going together.
Well, guys, that's it for us. We're going to get out of
We
here.
also want to point out that Sunday morning at 9 a.m. we'll be back with another episode of Sunday Funnies. Charles Santino is scheduled to be on, plus whoever else that we can get to come on this next week.
And I believe
I'll probably be around. It's usually my afternoon
don't-
break when you guys.
Don't threaten us with a good time.
And the return of special issues with we're going to reveal what the type of special issues is Saturday. This is going to be a big one. Next couple of weeks of special issues are going to be pretty
intense.
Yeah, so I'm a little nervous about it myself, but we'll see how it goes. You guys, until then though, have a great weekend. We always say it here, try to leave the industry a better place than you found it.
Please.
And we'll see you. Randy, take us out.
I'll take you out. All right, everybody, take care. Stay healthy.
Ciao.
Talk to you soon.
Daphne, do we have something we want to add to this?
Yeah.
Can you hammer a 6-inch spike through a board with your penis?
Not